So one thing that's cool, here's Mount Hermon, and this is where the book of Enoch, 1 Enoch, says that the fallen angels came and made an oath against God. And if you look, here's Mount Hermon, and if you zoom in, you have a UN, United Nations, I don't know if that's some kind of planet telescope or who knows. But one thing that's really cool, if you zoom out and you go to the base of Mount Hermon, right here, Hermon Stream Nature Reserve. And again, this is Mount Hermon, so this is at the base. This is the spot that Philippi Caesarea that Jesus said to Peter, "Upon this rock I'll build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail," or Hades, depending on the translation. But if you zoom in on it, one thing that's really crazy, the Temple of Pan and the Dancing Goats. So if you click on this right here, and you're at the base of Mount Hermon again, most people think that this closed up. This was a cave that went down. Could it have descended to Hades? Sure. Some historians believe that because of earthquakes, or I should say most historians believe earthquakes filled this up. In my personal belief, it probably happened when Jesus resurrected on the cross, and there was an earthquake at that time, and he resurrected, there was an earthquake. In my opinion, he sealed up this tomb, maybe post when he went, because it said during his 3 days he went and descended into hell to tell the devil pretty much he lost. My wondering is if his cave unsealed and he sealed Hades' cave. But if you look at it, I mean, you could see all the idolatry. It must have been statues carved out in this mountain. I did research. Rome did overtake it once and had temples here. So this is probably the very spot that Jesus told Peter, "Upon this rock I'll build my church." But if you notice, it says 6 days after he said that Jesus went to the top of a mountain and transfigured. And in my belief, if he was here and 6 days later he went up a mountain, could that have happened at the top of Mount Hermon, the very spot where the fallen angels rebelled against God and made their pact? Could he have gone up this mountain and said that here? Another thing, and there's a stream that starts here that feeds the if you see right here, it feeds the Jordan River. Two rivers come together. You can see the waterfall right here. It starts out of a spring out at the base of Mount Hermon, and here's the cave that the gates of hell, again, water, I guess it's just a natural spring. If you click on, say here, I don't know if this is a good picture, but yeah, I mean, you can see this is like a pool that it just starts here and it just goes, and this is the very place that Jesus got baptized in, obviously. But another thing cool about this is if you follow it down, I'm trying to get my yeah, here we go. So it's right here. Jordan River comes down, it feeds the Sea of Galilee. This is the very place that Jesus cast out the demons, the legion, into the pigs, and they went into the Sea of Galilee. This is also the place where Jesus calmed and walked on water, two separate events. But if you notice, let's see if I can get it. See Jordan River. The Jordan feeds the Sea of Galilee, and then it overflows. Let's see if I can find the outlet. Well, regardless, let me get to Jerusalem. Yeah, this here, this is all the Jordan River going down, and this is the Dead Sea. So one thing that's cool is the Jordan River starts up. Two rivers come together. I think the Dan River and the Hermon River, into the Jordan River. It feeds the Sea of Galilee. It exits the Sea of Galilee, goes and it enters into the lowest place on earth, which is the Dead Sea. I think it's like 1,300 feet below sea level, the Dead Sea. But the one thing that's cool is the Jordan River is the only thing that feeds the Dead Sea, and there's no outlet on the Dead Sea. So there's only water coming in with nothing ever going out. Also, Sodom and Gomorrah was around here going into the Dead Sea. It was a region, yeah, I don't know where exactly, but I believe it was on the west side of the Dead Sea, and here's the Mediterranean. And then obviously, if you go, there's Jericho. But if I'm trying to find Jerusalem where the temple is. Oh, right here. So it's right west of the Dead Sea. Here, there's a Garden of Gethsemane. It's loading. It's going slow. So here's the Temple Mount here. Here's the Dome of the Rock. And here's the Garden of Gethsemane right here. This is the Mount of Olives over here. And I talked about this. Here's a Valley of Jehoshaphat, where God will send his judgment to the goats and the sheep. You definitely want to be a sheep and not a goat. Inverse what society tells us. You're the goat. Nope. I'd rather follow like a bunch of sheep. But anyway, just thought that was cool. How the very place where the angels rebelled against God at Mount Hermon was the very place that Jesus in Philippi, Caesarea, and look this up. You can find old maps, and it will take you right there. And he was proclaiming, that Hades wouldn't prevail over that, and then eventually that pit, or whatever you want to call it, got sealed up in the last 2,000 years. In my opinion, it would make sense if it happened after Jesus descended into Hades, told the devil he lost, and then came back. But I hope you enjoy that.